Hey, it's your girl KV back with another review. Well, a new season of a show that we review, Sistas, season 9. We're going to review episodes 1 and 2. So, it wouldn't be Tyler Perry if we weren't traumatized, y'all. Episode 2 had me sobbing. We'll get there, but episode 2, as a mother, a black mother, episode 2 had me sobbing. So it's the thing about Sistas. When I do want to start doing them by one. I'm gonna try to do it by one this go round. On the last season, I think I just intentionally did 2 at a time because each episode is like one scene per person. It's not much flow. It's like one scene per person in these episodes. So it don't be a whole lot to really discuss, right? I need some water. So, yes, y'all. Season 9, episode 1, No Time to Wait. So this episode picks up exactly where we left off. I just knew that we was at least gonna be like a week later, maybe a flashback scene and see somebody get up like, oh, and then that's, something. Nope, we are still in that exact same scene. So for Andy, her and Zach are there with Gary under the desk with a dead Hudson and a dead Jasmine. The cops come and question them. Zach ain't going down to the station. He's like, I'm a black man. I ain't going down to no police station. Am I under arrest? Do I have to come? Well, no, I ain't coming. So they just sitting there going back and forth about what happened. Who is that? We need to question y'all. Yada, yada, yada. I guess they do end up going down to the station. We don't see all that, but we see them get to Andy's house. Now, I found it odd that they went back. Well, no, I take that back. You just went through a traumatic experience. Yeah, we finna go back to the same place, even if just to debrief. So they go back to Andy's house and they have these weird moments. They sitting there talking about trying to get in touch with everybody. Oh, by the way, there are these rolling blackouts going on. So traffic is bad because the traffic lights, cell phone towers are out so people can't call. So it's just a big old mess. So they see that that's going on. Zach's phone is dead anyway. He's trying to charge up his phone. This socket ain't working. This ain't working. So he ends up using a socket in Andy's bedroom. Andy goes to, does she shower and take I don't know. I'm not even really sure what happened and why Zach was still there while it was happening, but okay. So she's in there changing. She's butt naked. He's trying to get his phone. Andy, he knocking, he calling her name. She don't hear it. He walks right on in and sees her naked. I said, what was the point of this? What was the point of this? Next, we see Sabrina. She left off with last season catching Rich smashing Penelope at the juice bar, like not even 24 hours after they broke up. So, of course, she's outside there yelling. Well, she's yelling at him, and he's trying to be like, Sabrina, but we're broken up. She was like, barely? Like, what is going on? He like, man, it was just a tip. It wasn't even like that. We didn't even get in there like that. It was just a tip. She means nothing to me. Sabrina, please. Of course, Penelope comes out. She hears it. She smack him in the back of the head. She's all fussing because he playing her to the side like some little, soybean burger bit. Word to TLC house party them. But of course, she's feeling embarrassed. Like, dude, like, Penelope needs psychiatric help. Like, Penelope needs help. She shouldn't be roaming the streets. Like, not even trying to be funny for real. She was pregnant by a man, found out that he had a whole nother girlfriend, then found out he was up to some shady business, so much so that he threw her to the floor and unalived their baby. And they had to make it seem like she was gone too, put her in witness protection. So now the man that she thinking she finna marry has murdered their baby. And then she's going through postpartum because she doesn't have the baby, she doesn't have the man, she doesn't have anybody. She's in witness protection. She can't even talk to her friends and her brother. Not that it seems like Penelope has friends, but she still doesn't have access to even talk to nobody. And I'm like, she on meds? I remember at one point she talked about, I think she said she was on meds and that was sending her crazy too. But it's like, baby, we need to keep you institutionalized till we find your good med cocktail of how to keep you sane. After all of this craziness that you've done, Penelope gonna hurt somebody. She running around with a live wire, y'all, with an exposed live wire. So Sabrina is just like, listen, I don't have no time for this. We just broke up. You ain't wasting no time. Be with your girl. Like I said, she threw his box of stuff. Just all types of craziness. Next, we see Danny. Danny is at the apartment talking to Tony about the work ultimatum. So where they left off with last season, she got her job back and she got like a we sorry payment for the pain and suffering, because really it was all Tony's fault. He caused all of this and he was a superior. So with the lawsuit, they had to send him away. They're gonna send him to Alaska. So he has this work ultimatum. They're weighing their options. Number one, whether he's gonna go take the job in Alaska, and if not, where would he work, because he wouldn't be able to stay with the company. Option two, whether she would be going to Alaska with him. Option three, whether they would stay together or not if he does go to Alaska. I said, boy, please, Alaska. If you want me, you better find another job around Atlanta and the surrounding areas, because who visiting Alaska? Who's doing that? Danny straight up told him, I'm not visiting Alaska. I'm not moving to Alaska. I'm not. No, Alaska ain't happening. So if you go out there, it's deuces. Wait for you. What? Come to Alaska. What? You should have thought about that when you put me in that management program that I didn't even ask to be in. You should have thought about that when you was pushing up on me, rubbing up between my thighs, kissing all up on my neck at my counter like everybody else can't see us. He should have thought about that, okay? Take your ass to Alaska or go find another job. But boy, thinking that she gonna come with you is insane. And most importantly, we see Karen is at the hospital. Okay, she is pregnant with them babies, y'all. Fatima is the one that's there with her because Karen had popped up at her house, right? Like Karen had popped up at her house, started feeling contractions. Fatima took her on up there. So Fatima is there with her, being everything that she needs right now. Honestly, like I said, there's rolling blackouts going on, so the hospital is a frenzy and everybody's demanding service. Everybody's not doing well, you know. There's this rude racist ass nurse that it would have took everything in me not to cuss her out. So she a little white lady, she up at the front counter and she's just being real rude. That seems like her labor, what's that word? Labor symptoms. She'll be fine. They bring the doctor out there. She'll be fine. It's just the labor symptoms. She'll be all right. She'll be all right. We'll get a room for her when we can get a room for her. Excuse me? Sabrina is feeling extreme pain and the doctor and the nurse is trying to convince her that ain't nothing wrong with her, but even Fatima is like, she's getting chills. She's not doing, like something's wrong. She says something's wrong, and I believe her, right? So a black nurse comes over and is talking to Fatima and is like, yeah, we finna go put her in room such and such, room 114. And the white nurse was like, no, can you wait to get such and such room cleaned out and take her here? We're about to put somebody in 114. And the nurse was like, no, we putting her in 114. Like, you just holding her up just to be holding her up. When she's having an emergency, like, it was just all types of crazy. She finally gets in the room, but they still don't go into action. Like, you need to be doing an ultrasound to see if the babies are okay. You need to be giving her some type of saline, some type of something to cool her off. See if she has an infection. Do she need antibiotics? He just put her in the room and it's like, oh, we'll get a fetal monitor. Give us a bit. She's bleeding. Karen is like actively bleeding. It was all very crazy, but we know how racist can be. A lot of people were online like, oh, this is so stupid. This isn't believable. This isn't that. This isn't that. This isn't believable. And I'm like, sorry to tell y'all, yes, there are very racist medical professionals out there that have no problem letting a black woman die giving birth, because black women are in the medical field, we're known to overreact, and we have a high tolerance for pain, so we don't need the doting on. We don't need to be assessed like other women may need to be assessed. We don't need the same treatment and the same care. We've seen it. Like, black women and the mortality rates for giving birth, insane. So this is sadly, this is a very realistic scenario for a black woman's pain to be ignored while going through labor and such. So, like I said, he just ain't really paying her no mind. Fatima has called everybody, and they all headed up there to the hospital. All the rest of the girls, Zach and Aaron, and her mom, who gets there first, Miss Lisa. Aaron goof ass come in there with some pink balloons, and they looking at him like, baby, this is not the time. And he is like, what's happening? Is Karen okay? I know he had no way of knowing that something wouldn't be okay, so why wouldn't he bring balloons? But it's just how they always play Aaron as the lady, you know? So episode 2, do no harm. Like I said, y'all, this episode rang my heart dry of all its tears that it could produce for the day. Okay, so Zach and Andy are in the car because, you know, they were sitting there having their back and forth. What happened? We were gonna tell them how Fatima doing. Thanks for Fatima, because Fatima sent Zach to check on Andy. That's how they even got in the same place, because Andy got kidnapped. That's why he had to bring her home. She had no car. Andy got kidnapped and taken there. So when Fatima didn't hear from Andy, she was like, well, I gotta go. We gotta check on Karen. We gotta check on Andy. You get Andy, I get Karen. And that's how they got in that predicament. So Zach and Andy are in the car. It's still blackout traffic. They've been in hours trying to get to the hospital. They're both worried, but Andy is keeping it together and trying to help him keep it together as well. We see both Sabrina and Danny are also in traffic. They're road raging. We see that they're road raging against each other. I figured that. I figured that the way Danny was talking and the way they just kept flashing the screen, I said they talking about each other, but why wouldn't they see that this each other? Especially Danny, she was coming from behind. She could see what type of car it was. So that was a silly little moment, but realistic. So when Danny ran up, got out of her car and ran up to cut Sabrina out, when an accident happened right in front of Sabrina, she realized it was her. So she was just like, girl, you can't drive. Get to it. Meanwhile, Sabrina is on the phone with Maurice. She is venting to him about Rich and Penelope. Maurice gonna say, remind me not to go to his juice bar. I don't want that type of freshness closed. I said, Lord Jesus. Meanwhile, at the hospital, Karen is in there freaking out, throwing up, bleeding, just traumatic, scary-ish for a pregnant woman. Everyone's trickling into the hospital to see Karen. They're running into each other, bumping into each other here and there till they all convene in her room. Fatima ends up finding a black nurse to help, and the black nurse admits, like, yeah, girl, they're a little racist up in here. They're a little racist up in here, and I just jump in when I can. I said, dang. So the white doctor is still being dismissive of Fatima's pain, and so of Karen's pain, so Fatima hunts down a black doctor in the waiting room. His name is Dr. Vaughn. He is talking to a family, but Fatima, you know, hey, I need you. They got this white doctor over here, and he is treating this girl bad. I don't want nothing crazy to happen. So he comes on into the room. The black nurse is still in there. They end up kind of whispering something, And they like, what y'all whispering? Because how y'all gonna whisper right in front of them? So they do an ultrasound and he's sitting there looking worried. She's like, let me see my babies. Let me see the ultrasound. He won't show her. He immediately leaves the room and he immediately leaves the room and he walks over to like the doctor station, like where they got their cart set at the edge of the hall. And he lets the white doctor know, like, hey, she's bleeding and she's feverish because one of the babies is gone in there. I only detected one heartbeat. One of the babies is gone. We need to get her to an emergency C-section so we can get the other baby. And she also needs antibiotics so she don't go sepsis, okay? Her and the living baby could pass away. Sabrina hears all of this and she runs and lets everybody know. Meanwhile, white doctor is like chastising him. Are you telling me what to do? I'm chief of obstetrics, and you're a fourth year resident, and you trying to tell me what to do? He's like, listen, I'm not trying to tell you what to do. I'm just telling you this is what she needs. So Sabrina hears this, runs off, tells everybody. Her and Andy end up cornering Dr. Vaughn, and they're like, listen, we need you to be her doctor. He's like, I can't do that. I'm just a fourth year resident. If she wants to change doctors, she has to make a formal request. So Sabrina's getting upset, but Andy's like, we just got to get her to say she'll switch. So he told us what to do. That's what we got to do. So he comes on in there and he tells them, I'm just a fourth year resident, is what he let them know. But Karen, they in the room, Karen's going through the motions, y'all. And she does end up saying, yes, I switch my doctor, right? This is all so traumatic because it's so many women's stories. Whether she survives or not, is still so many women's stories. For me personally, I have one daughter. I have one living child. And I got eclampsia at 39 weeks. Not even pre-eclampsia, eclampsia. So I had literally went to the doctor that morning. They said my blood pressure was a little bit high, but it wasn't elevated enough for them to keep me. They just said, okay, if you feel any type of way, just come on up here with your bag. You 39 weeks, we gonna deliver that baby. Okay, cool, whatever, right? So I get home, I can't remember if I felt bad or not. Maybe like a little sleepy, maybe a little groggy. I lay down and go to sleep. Next thing I know, I'm in the back of an ambulance and they're asking me things like, do you know what year it is? Who's the president? What's your name? Do you know that you're pregnant? Do you know how pregnant you are? That was the next thing I remember. And after that, the next thing I remember was waking up in a hospital room with a baby next to my bed and my husband on the other side and being like, excuse me? The baby's here? The baby's here? So y'all, if y'all don't know what pre-eclampsia and eclampsia is, it's basically diabetes when you're pregnant. So I skipped the pre-eclampsia phase and went straight to eclampsia and had seizures. So I had a seizure. That's when my husband found me right before I rolled over and fell off the bed and hit the floor. Dislocated my shoulder, keeping me on the bed. Called the ambulance. Ambulance takes me there. They said, hey, if she has another seizure, we're just gonna have to deliver the babies. Mind you, this is COVID time, so my mama can't even come up here. People can't even come visit me, check on me, just me and my husband. So they said I had another seizure in triage. I had another seizure in triage. So they had to send me to the room to get an emergency C-section. Sedated me, gave me an emergency C-section. I woke up confused as hell with a baby laying next to me when my baby supposed to be in my belly. They were like, yeah, you could have died. It's a good thing that your husband was being diligent and checking on you, because, yeah. Y'all, what? And that's just like, huh. But you can have normal pregnancies after that. Who the fuck wants a pregnancy after that? Who? And I was 31. Those are complications that are usually associated with women of advanced maternal age, 35 plus. I was 31 when that happened. So why would I want to have another one at 35, 36 and anything? Like, sidebar, yeah, just letting y'all know, bringing it back to real life. Like this is real stuff. Black women going into labor. So yes, y'all, Karen. He then goes in there. The Dr. Vaughn, black doctor, goes in there to tell Karen and everybody everything that's going on. He tells her one of the babies done passed. This, you know, he don't give his recommendation though. And I'm like, dang, he should have gave his recommendation. Nobody asked, so what next? So what do we do next? And they was just kind of like, dang, okay. But as he's leaving, Andy and Sabrina run in to tell her to switch. The white doctor walks in right after them, and he's still real casual and chill. After the fourth year resident done told him what's happening, he's coming in there like, hey girl, you good? Yeah, okay, let's look at that. Oh, that monitor not working. We're gonna find another one. You pain. Girl, I told you this. You gonna have a lot of pain, girl. You gonna have a lot of pain. This your first baby? Yeah, your body ain't meant to carry no baby. You see your mama body? Your body meant to carry a baby. Her body ain't meant to carry no baby, let alone no twins, you know? So y'all just listen to me. I'm the doctor. I'm the chief of obstetrics, okay? And at this point, Andy and Karen is letting her know, change doctors, he we know it, yada, yada, yada. Sabrina's in distress over there. She's screaming, she's crying, she's in pain. But eventually, she does say, yes, switch me over. And he's like, I'm the chief of obstetrics. Why wouldn't you want me? You need me. I'm one you need. They're like, no, we need somebody who cares about her. And that ain't you. And they send him on his way. Fatima and Danny see him in the hallway and they're like, Karma's a bitch. I said, Fatima and Zach, I need you to do what y'all do. Call Madam right now. Call Madam right motherfucking now. Okay, get Doc and them on it right now. Okay, speaking of, y'all see Bolo is over there on Divorce Sistas. Bolo is on Divorce Sistas, basically playing his character on All the Queen's Men, essentially. But his name is Hakeem. I said, okay, y'all should have just put it all in the same universe and have somebody talk about club eating, slip it in the background in one episode. So yes, y'all, they had me cracking up. So Dr. Vaughn comes in like, okay, I'm your doctor now, and we got to get you an emergency C-section. Because remember, white doctor was trying to make her deliver the babies. Even though she's weak, she's sepsis, she has this infection because she's had this deceased baby in her for the past day or so. He's like, that's why you're bleeding, that's why you're feeling bad, because the baby. So the next scene was really emotional, even though it was rather unrealistic, because in real life, her mama is her next of kin, so she would need to tell her wishes to her mama. But okay, we'll let you do it to the baby's godmamas that can't really, okay, sure, right. She tells Sabrina and Andy to promise to take care of the babies if something happens to her. She also tells them that if they can save both babies over her life, choose the babies. Of course, everybody's crying. It's a very tearful moment. Like I said, I didn't say, but she had everybody else leave the room. She just wanted to talk to the girls. I was just like, okay. But yes, I was like, your mama can't stay. You ain't gonna leave your mama. I would have been like, fellas, leave. It's a girl's moment. It was just weird that she sent her mama off. So they're just kind of arguing back and forth with her. Like, girl, don't say that you're gonna be fine. Da, da. She's like, girl, I'm already not fine. It's already not fine. And so the scene ends with Karen flatlining, y'all. I said, Lord Jesus Christ, they better not do that to us. They better not do that to us, y'all. After 5 years of a pregnancy, Tyler Perry, don't piss me off. Don't piss me off, Tyler. This girl been pregnant. We've been sitting through this pregnancy for 5 years. You better not kill her off now. We're here. We're invested. We need to see Karen as a mama with 2 different baby daddies. But clearly we ain't going to get that. It's just going to be one baby daddy. It's just going to be Aaron, baby. So Zach can be off the hook and not just be adding to the list of children that he done procreated irresponsibly. You know? So that's what we going through, y'all. And on the previews, we see this rumble as if Karen might not make it. Does your daughter have a living will? What about this? Have y'all talked about this? What about this? So everybody's just kind of like, whoo, you know, whoo. So I'm like, Tyler and the gang, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. But what y'all can do is like the video, subscribe to the channel, share the video, comment, let me know what y'all think. Are y'all watching the episodes or y'all just watching my reviews because y'all love me? Either way, click like, subscribe, share, all of the things. And until next time, y'all, bye.